Welcome, everybody. Let's see, first of all, who we have attending virtually. I believe is Carrie. Are you there? Carrie Peterson?
Yep, Carrie on the phone.
Very good. And Hannah?
Yes, Hannah here.
Hannah, very good. And with me, got Wanda and Kristen. Who else do we have? And you? And, okay, I'm having a senior moment here.
Amy.
I'm Amy.
Amy.
Yep.
Well, I don't have you underlined here. As soon as you come in, I do
Oh,
that.
I'm sorry.
Must have been.
She's sneaky.
I was sneaky.
Okay, and very good. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be back. Oh, and look who else we have. We have Jenna.
Jenna.
Very good. Okay, so our first order of business is to approve the order of the agenda. Would anyone like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion, Chris Shipper, to
Thank you.
approve the agenda.
Thank you, Chris. Is there a second?
I can second.
Good. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That brings us to our second item, which is the minutes of October 18th meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you very much. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Very good. Are there any questions or corrections? I'm counting on you. I was not here. Okay. Hearing none. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And that brings us to public comment. Public seems to get thin today, so we will move on to staff report. Megan, you have the floor.
Hello. You have my report in your packet. I'll just do a few highlights. As always, we seem to be always hiring. The highlight for this month is we're in the middle of hiring for the 4 new part-time positions for the circulation department that were approved earlier this year. We've had a good number of applications so far, and supervisors are going through those as they come in. The position will be open until all 4 are filled. Couple services I wanted to mention. In May, we started offering technology help sessions, and those continue. So people can either make an appointment or drop in on Wednesday afternoons to get help with their devices. We've helped people with everything from getting Libby set up on their phones to signing people up for unemployment benefits, get started doing email or social media. We have people coming in all the time looking for computer help. And we do what we can, but when we're working the information desk, it can be hard to really sit down and work one-on-one with people. So this gives them an opportunity to really, go more in depth and spend, half hour, 40 minutes with people rather than 10 minutes in between answering phone calls and things. It's going well so far. We're hoping to expand this to do it at the Carlson branch in the next year. We're also a write-in location for National Novel Writers Month. We have a display of materials on the second floor of the downtown library of how to get started writing a novel, what to do with the publishing process, kind of all of that. And then we also have a dedicated space for if people want to get away from the distractions of their house and work on writing the next great masterpiece. Event-wise for the next month, this coming weekend, we have train days at the library. This is always a crowd pleaser. The Red River Model Railroad Club will be setting up a huge model train set in the community room downtown. That will be there all day on Saturday, and there will be crafts throughout the day, and there's a special themed story time at 11 a.m. Right around the Thanksgiving school break, we have 2 events for kids. The first is on Wednesday and is everything Dogman, crafts, snacks, activities. If you have kids, that book series is huge right now. And then on Friday, we're hosting an escape room. That event does require registration, but there's 4 sessions throughout the morning and afternoon. The event I want to highlight for adults is Spice Club. We did this last winter and people enjoyed it. It's a way to try new flavors without ending up with a whole jar of something you end up not liking. So people can register for the event and then pick up a spice packet, information about what it is and what the flavor profile is, and kind of suggested recipes. The library also has a Discord server, which is a private chat server that you get access to when you register, and then you can talk with other people about what they're making and kind of cooking experience. For December, the spice they'll be experimenting with is ground mace. Registration for that program opens the Monday after Thanksgiving, and then pickup is mid-December. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Any questions? Sure. Your writers, your write-in, what is the typical age of the people that show up for that?
Usually the people that show up to that event are either, primarily it's women, usually in mid-20s or 60s.
Oh, interesting.
Very good, very good.
People writing novels, and then people kind of writing memoirs, or they want to share family stories, things like that.
Okay, very good. I was wondering if there would be a lot of retirees there. Thank you so much. That brings us to our director's report. Tim, you have the floor.
Per your packet, you can see there. The one exciting thing there, you got under partnering, I have a moderated meeting with Gladys Ray shelter staff. What came out of that discussion is we currently have a Gladys Ray staff member that comes to the main library in the afternoons between Monday and Thursday between 2 and 5. And just having their presence is important. As you know, urban libraries experience a lot of homeless folks. And it's good to have a trained person, a lot of experience dealing with the vulnerable populations and assisting us and assisting contract security. So it's really exciting to have that partnership. To me, it's just a start. Hopefully we can expand it as we go forward, certainly keeping track of all the efforts that are going on with the person on site. So that's an exciting thing that we got going on. And unless anybody has any other questions, the other thing is we had Dr. Terry Hogan, the city's Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, come to the department heads meeting and give a discussion of the an overview of his environmental scan that he's done over city departments in regards to DEI. So that was really good for my team. More to come, obviously, with that. So a lot of exciting things going on.
Thanks so much. Any questions for Tim? Very good. We have no unfinished business, so let's go to new business. We have 2 items. Meeting room policy draft.
Yes, where this came from is discussions with frontline staff looking at meeting room technology when we just have walk-ins. And obviously, if the room's available, we allow walk-ins, which is good. The one caveat, though, the challenge with staffing is to provide technology with just walk-in, and that we can't guarantee that, and it gets difficult. So we wanted to kind of clarify that in the policy and just basically say, if you're walk-in, hey, if the room's available, you get the room, but we just don't have the folks to provide and support technology for walk-ins. So just kind of clarifying that caveat for walk-in usage of meeting rooms.
Okay. Any questions for Tim? Any observations? That last sentence, technology assistance and/or access is not available for walk-in use. Since it is just about meeting rooms, that it means in the community rooms or in the community rooms and the
Just the
conference
community room. Right, you can't walk in and have the community room.
Right. Well, it says those aren't available, but the technology isn't for the conference rooms either. Right?
Correct.
Okay, maybe we should put that in there, in conference rooms.
Okay.
Maybe I should I?
No, community/conference. No, I can understand that.
Okay. Otherwise, do you need a motion for that?
Yeah, we need a
edit. Okay.
As edited.
I would like to propose that edit.
I'll make a motion to accept the edit that Carlos suggested, that Tim suggested.
Very good. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Very good. Anything else or any No? Are we voting on the edit, or are we voting on the
Changes as.
changes with that edit?
As noted.
Changes as edited.
Okay, that's your motion?
Yeah.
Very good. So those in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
and those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we have a new meeting room policy. Very efficient. That brings us to B, which is computer use policy draft. I hope all of you were able to finish the edits to this one.
Yeah, basically, based on availability, want to allow, for non-card holders from 1 hour to 2 hours.
Did you get more computers or more space, or why are non-card holders able to use?
I think
up
we
to-
have less overall use
Okay,
than we had back in the day, 2019. I think what we've run into, and, over the pandemic period, a lot of folks got devices, because they needed one and the availability. So, we're just looking at usage and availability. We don't have any more computers, but looking at usage, we're like, with the level of usage, we could allow these folks a little more time. And it's good if they're applying for identification, if they're applying for jobs, and all of the above, contacting family or what have you. We have it, we should allow it to be used by the citizens, essentially.
Yeah, I think that's great, if it were that easy to raise people's pay. I guess we need a motion. Nope,
I'll make a motion to approve.
very good, thank you. And that, is there a second?
I'll second.
Wonderful. Any more discussion? None. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we have our actions of the day finished. That brings us to statistical reports.
Yeah, per your packet, you can see the library use. You can see we have just over 33,000 patrons registered currently. Attendance is up, certainly October over October 21, good 17%. You can see year to date through the end of October, strong bounce back from 21 with 29% more people attending, which represents 68,621 more folks coming through the doors, which is nice. Programming, you can see it's down just around 3% over last year. Volunteers overall up 151% over last year, which is exciting. Again, it's thank the volunteers every day the way they bounce back after the pandemic. Internet sign up, you can see it's slightly up, but it's nowhere near it was back in 2019, thus the change of the policy. Electronic web page hits, you can see that's up just pretty much the same than it was last year, right around 1% increase. Circulation overall, looking at just a little over 8% increase over 21. So again, that's bouncing back as well. If anybody has any questions in regards to usage.
I see no queries. You may
All
continue
right,
to the.
moving on to B, financials in terms of the donation summary. On the revenue side, we received a $50 gift from Delta Kappa Gamma Beta in memory of one of their members, and $1,000 from Dr. Sharon Zer-Peltner. Just loves the library, and so thanks to her. And then the $300, thanks for the Friends group for the Seed Library. It's a good donation from the Friends. On the expenditure side, it's all Friends. You can see the $100, that was ads for the One Book, One Community. The 1,424, that was Crafternoons, Northern Focus Program, and the Seed Library. Again, thank the Friends for that. And the $582, that was also the Friends for libraries, for children's collections, And the $30 also for the Friends for staff recognition. So again, big thanks to the Friends for all their generosity and the citizens, again, who donated to the library.
Thank you, Tim. And does anyone have any questions? Need anything fleshed out? No, we are flying. Very good. Okay, Friends of the Library.
Oh, I can still go over, that budget year to date.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
please,
yeah.
please do, please do.
Yeah, through 83% of the year lapsed through the end of October, just over 79% expended. We can obviously continuing the analysis of the budget to utilize it. We have identified replacing some staff chairs, some display items for the children's, new vinyl decals for the wiggle room, a fax / various activity item for staff and patrons for the second floor. I guess we went out and asked what people were asking for and just kind of kept track of that over a month or so. And I guess faxing just kind of came up over and over again. So
Like a fax machine?
it's a little more sophisticated than the old
Oh.
Screamin' Mimis, but
Okay.
so we were able to pick that up, and also a wand for doing inventory. So we've been able to manage the budget and then obviously keep some money in contingency towards the end of the year. So that's kind of where we are in terms of operating. And
Do you guys have enough money to buy Xbox or PlayStation, so I don't have to buy one and I can just check one out from the library?
well, I don't think we have enough money to buy enough of them that would
Replace all
that
the
would
ones
ever
that-
come back. It would never come back. That's
I know I saw that and I was like, I wonder if we actually have them here to check out, which would be wild, but I don't think that's the case. And turns out we don't.
we do. I mean, the thing we do have, and I think we talked about this before, is hotspots and devices that you
Yeah.
can check out, and you can have Wi-Fi. Now,
But those are missing, right? Or like
well,
there's
some of
not-
them. I mean, we keep on getting replacements, but no matter how many we have, you don't have enough.
Okay.
And it's like they're fragile. They're always checked out. There's always lots of I mean, it's just that's just the nature. And the Xbox would be the exact same way. There'd be no way you could have enough of that.
Tim, can you refresh my memory? Is this a use it or lose it budget? If we have carryover
Right.
for this year, I mean, if we don't spend 100%, can we carry it over to?
No, that goes back to general fund.
Okay.
And, we work to identify needs and manage the budget, but we want to be judicious too. We're really, looking to buy things that assist us to provide services to the community. If the community is asking for the fax machine that does all this stuff, and then it's like, okay, if we can find the resources, if this is something the public's identified that the service that they want, well, let's see what we can do. So I guess we look to utilize it as best we can, but still do it in a way that we can honestly say, like, okay, functional ergonomic chairs for the staff are a good thing. Needed display items for the children's is a good thing. And really look at it need and, service enhancement and this kind of thing. So the thing about budget, especially when you get down to the end, it's you always need to leave some there for some level of contingency, because you have the 12 months, you have the 13th period, and I guess there's a 14th and a 15th until they close the previous year, like in February of the next year. And depending on when things, they can kind of charge back and forth. And obviously you don't want to go over. So you want to maintain and say, okay, this looks like a reasonable amount to utilize prior to the end of the year for these items, while maintaining this balance to kind of offset whatever unknowns might happen. So it's a constant, you get to around September, October, November, and then you start estimating out towards the end of the year. And then working with staff to identify, okay, what kind of needs do we see? What kind of enhancements can we identify? So
Okay.
that's how we work it. And then you see our revenue, just over 22,000 through the end of October. And again, just to kind of clarify the whole revenue thing for us, as I've stated before, the city really doesn't see us as a revenue generator. But how it works is when we're working on the budget for the next year, we look at activity, do a 12-month look back on activity in terms of revenue, and then say, okay, we estimate that we're going to make 22,000, blah, 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 whatever, in that fiscal year. So then the city says, okay, along with your general fund allocation, then we're going to front you what you're saying you're going to make on the revenue side. And so we're estimating what revenue is going to be for the following year based on a previous 12 months of activity, and they give us that up front. So it's not like, why don't we get to keep the revenue? Because we've already received it. I've kind of run into that before. It's like, that's ours. And it's like, not really. End up paying everybody back, so.
Very good. Thank you, Tim.
Sure.
Anyone? Do we have friends of the library? No friends today? Our next meeting then will be December 20th. Hope to see you all there. Merry Christmas, and we're adjourned.